Alright, so we're back for round 2 of Lead Her, episode 2. We're gonna rock some more questions for you tonight and let you see everything A to Z, how to run frame game. I hope you liked the questions on the first one and how I ripped apart those answers. So we're gonna break more down to that female-male dynamic and give you a little insight of what we do here. Get on camera quick, say hello.
Hey world, we're back for part 2 of Lead Her, and I'm going to be asking questions once again.
How do you feel you did the first episode?
I think I did pretty good. Like I said, I don't have a microphone on me, guys, so if you guys didn't hear me clear enough, that's the reason why.
Alright, so we're gonna rip apart these questions here.
Alright, what's something most guys do on the first date that instantly kills attraction?
So, I'm sorry you said you don't want to be involved, but this is actually a great question for you to answer. So, actually think of some real life situations where guys did things that actually unattracted you on a first date.
Well, I think what a guy does on the first date that completely kills attraction is someone that just talks about themselves way too much. Doesn't really give you any kind of platform to give what you're about also in return. Because at that point you really feel like that there's really not going to be any room for what you have to offer. It's just mainly going to be about him. And I think at that point is the perfect time for you to get to know that person, on a personal level, and not just, I think it's a double-sided interview at that time, where everyone gets their space and opportunity to ask questions about one another and be able to get to know each other. Because at that point, what if I don't get the opportunity to let you know about myself? You may not like certain things about me, so we're wasting that first time and chance on really getting certain things across.
So that was actually a pretty quality answer there. So the truth is, she's 1,000% right. Most guys talk way too fucking much, and that's the problem. So now, when you guys are on a date, this is the mistake that every man makes, and it's simple. You guys are trying to impress that woman opposed to letting that woman impress you. Therefore, you talk and tell her all about yourself. Try to make her laugh with your corny bullshit jokes. She doesn't laugh. And then she wants a fucking bus pass because she wants to get the fuck home, okay? So how you impress a woman on a first date is showing status without opening your mouth, knowing the manager of the place that you go in. And it doesn't mean showing status by spending a lot of money. Knowing people on your way to the restaurant, in the restaurant, showing status, dressing to the nines, all things that don't fucking involve a peep out of your mouth. Showing status, who you are. Now, sitting down, you should be doing the interview with her. So the situation shouldn't be interview style across, right? It should be in a position where she can sit next to you on a couch, cozy, or even a walk, whatever said thing may be. Now, with that situation, you should be premising the question, and getting her to talk about herself. People in general feel great when they're talking about themselves, especially a woman. So when she's referencing herself, she will remember that this man cared about her, and she'll reference a good conversation even though she didn't say much. So now you dress well in a place that represents you, showing status, looking good, people know who you are, smell good, all senses are all taken except for her fucking ears to your mouth. And then you're letting her talk about herself, let her hear that, feel that, and you put her in a position to feel like she's interviewing for you, where she's on the way home asking her friends, telling her friends, I don't think I did well, or maybe she thinks she did do well. So any girl that's into you in any way, shape, or form will be concerned about those things and worrying if she messed up. So I'll ask things like, what makes you tick? What motivates you? Okay, what kind of hobbies? What does the day look like in the next 24 hours for you, Jess? Things like that. What would you rob, shoot, and kill to do? Like, find out what she's interested in, and by finding what her day is going to look like and said things like that, you'll find out a lot about this woman. And if this woman is somebody you want to spend your life with, or the next few years, if you get 5 years out of a woman, I would say that's a beautiful thing. You want to ask questions to find out what you need to know to see if this woman should be in your life, which you'll never be able to find out in an hour or two. Yet the mistake is you're talking too much. So that's the number one mistake.
If a woman is being difficult, when do you walk away? And when do you fix it?
Immediately. So if a woman's being difficult, character traits really don't change. You know, most of the time a promiscuous woman is going to remain promiscuous. Now, a hard rule is lack of intellect, so anyone could change at any time. It's possible. Yet a woman who's really difficult in that beginning phase and talking back to you in that beginning phase, that's just who she is. She's been led this way by her previous relationships, and she's not going to change. So I say walk away right away. She's always going to look better leaving the door than coming in the door, especially if she's an all-the-way whore. With that being said, I want you to really reference the way that she's treating you, and if this is something that you can, formulate actually being in your life. So with that being said, that's part one. What was part two of the question? When do you fix it? Okay. We're not here to fix, things as men, right? I'd rather you find something, fresh water, right? You want to water a plant and let it grow. You don't want to get a fully fungi fucking bacteria plant and then hire 10 people to come trim the fucking edges, right? That's not what you want to do. When do you fix it? When a girl's giving you all of her, and then she starts behaving a certain way, and then you could kind of try to find out where that's stemming from, especially if she's a little older and has some relationship experience. That woman has showed a character signaling that she actually wants to change. If she's giving you 6 months to a year, quality woman, and then she starts acting up in some way, shape, or form, these might be scarcities and insecurities of previous relationships. Therefore, it's coming out with you, but who she showed you in the first 6 months to a year is who she actually wants to be. So in this said situation, you can start to lay down the rules. You could start to reinvest in your boundaries and let her know if things don't, action will be taken. We'll spend some time apart, whatever it may be. But you have to weigh out how much time you've spent with this woman and how quality she is in that time. I always tell a man, that asked me, should I leave the woman? I asked, how much has she done for you? How much money is she giving you, right? You guys just never really had a woman that's willing to give you every dollar that she had. So if a woman is giving you everything, right, there's certain things that can be forgiven, right? If she's doing any and everything for you, and then she starts acting out a year up. No, I'm not saying tolerate disrespect from a woman and tolerate go bad. But you can reevaluate the situation and give her another opportunity to fix it. If she's investing pretty much all her money in you, her time in you, great energy when you're around each other, really electric, sex and time, and she takes care of you and everything is selfless until this said time, then you have the opportunity to maybe fix something up slightly. So we're going to go into some questions from breakups and rebuilding, which is where I really want to target some of you guys.
How does a man come back stronger after getting his heart broken?
The simple answer is pain is fuel, right? Now, most men in this situation feeling a breakup feel lifeless, right? In that moment, when something emotional happens, you want to crawl into a ball, as you can probably attest to, right? Do you want to do anything when you go through a breakup?
You really don't. You almost want to just surrender yourself and just give up. Just lay in a bed and cry.
So if I stop talking to you right now, would you want to go work out?
Maybe not. But thankfully my last, breakup was the opposite. But, they were not anywhere near as significant as you were. So that could very well affect me.
It's pretty significant. You were married.
Yeah, but they didn't have the powerful touch you did.
Correct. So nobody has what I have. So, with that being said, if you go to a fight gym, the guy that's there fighting all night, staying for every class, never leaving the gym, I would bet that guy just got out of a breakup, right? A man becomes dangerous when he's dealing with these things, right? Because he wants to distract from the pain. So if you take it and you sit inside your house, you're fucked. But if you take that pain and drive all that energy into positive nature, it's literally endless energy. You are unbreakable and unbeatable from the fucking Lord. It is a chemical cocktail. Pain makes you so fucking strong, whether being punched in the face and adrenaline to fight back, or loss of a family member or relation. It doesn't need to make you weak. Energy is energy, no matter which way the neurochemicals come into the body. the energy is energy. Now you need to take that energy and become recklessly aggressive towards your goals, right? The best bodybuilder, the best boxer is gonna be, you find somebody that just lost their woman, they're a dangerous motherfucker. But most men crawl into a ball. What was the actual question?
How does a man come back stronger after getting his heart broken?
So that's how you come back stronger. Use every ounce of it for fuel. You get that woman off your mind. So I always tell a man, we don't chase, we replace, right? So you should replace that woman, but don't chase to replace. Just let it come as do come. Do some cold approach, stay off the apps for 2 weeks, then get onto the apps. And when you get onto the apps, just remember nothing's diving into a relationship. Just replace the mind, but distract yourself with fitness, diet training, do some type of fight training. Do fight training, bro. When you're getting punched in the face, you will not worry about some fucking girl with her legs open from you because she's under somebody else. So get rid of those thoughts, get rid of that nature. If you want my 8-week ebook on breakup, then comment the word breakup in the comments, or go to the link in the description, go to my Instagram and DM me the word breakup, and I'll send it to you for free. So guys, you just need to fucking take action into a positive realm, opposed to sit back and just let the fucking emotions attack you. The other reason why you can become stronger after a breakup is all men, also some men, good looking men, get in a lot of relationships earlier in their life, and this could be the biggest devil. This could be the biggest fuckery, because you don't learn to live alone. You need to learn how to run your business, message people all day from fucking social media to grow your brand, and then at night scroll on fucking YouTube, watch some fucking podcasts and shit, and not need to be around a woman 24/7. When you're so fulfilled by yourself, not only is that the most fulfilling thing ever, right, because you don't need anybody, two, you start to attract other people. So more than anything, I attest all my relationships and the amount of women that I've been with, right? And people will attest to this for me. Plus I have picture images of many, many relations with women, and it's all because that women know that I'm fulfilled by myself. My mother is the love of my life, and even her I could spend more time with. It's because I'm so okay alone that makes me so attractive. And I use a reference because no one I'll ever love as much as my mother, but even her, I'm okay with not being with 24/7, right? And this is not a negative thing. This is for you to just understand that if I can keep some time from her, I can definitely keep some time from a woman that did not birth me, right? She shits in the morning. She wore diapers and shit herself. When she shits, it stinks. She's got a pretty face, right? But I don't need none of that shit. I need none of that shit. I could do bad by my fucking self and probably make more money. So if you come around, you're gonna do some stuff for me. And this level of fulfillment that I have alone will make you so attractive. So when you get out of a breakup, to reference your question, how does it, after getting out of his heartbroken man, come back stronger? You learn to live alone. You can cold approach some girls in the street. Eventually, like I said, get on the apps, and this is why you should buy my 8-week ebook, which I'm going to toss to you for free if you comment the word here or DM me on Instagram. But you learn to be fulfilled by yourself.
You always say heartbreak is fuel. Can you explain that mindset?
So I kind of feel like I just did in the last one. Thanks, Ace, for fucking me up with these questions here. Not making sense, you motherfucker. Heartbreak is fuel because it's an emotional cocktail of fucking pain. And what you do with that pain will leave a stain on any woman's fucking heart. Because what you do with that pain is up to you. And if you use that as energy, you will be like a fucking animal in the jungle. That is the biggest power. I always say men go through more with the breakup than women, right? Because a man looks at a woman like his daughter, not in a weird incest way. A man protects and provides, a woman subsides, right? So a woman looks at a man like her father, right? And her father's supposed to fucking die before she is. A girl, a daughter to a man, is not supposed to die before he does, right? So therefore, when she dies off and leaves him, he feels broken and empty. That's the most pain a man can feel. So when he takes that pain and puts it into fitness, diet training, and business, it's game the fuck over. So heartbreak is the nastiest fuel, premium fucking gas, $42 a gallon, and that's what the fuck it is. And that's why, because it's the nastiest neurochemical cocktail that if you take it and you put it, she'll be loving the stains on your hands the next girl that comes around, because you'll be a lion tiger in the jungle like you've never been before.
What's the biggest mistake men make right after a breakup?
Jumping into the next relationship and sulking into themselves and never getting that girl off of my. When I'm done with a chick, I get her off my mind so fast because I understand when I'm done, I'm done. So most men, when they say they're done, they're not really done. Most men also never exercise going through short periods of time without speaking to their woman in a relationship, which I always make some time to do so, whether it be a little bit of time we're upset with each other. I always give 1 to 7 days of a collapsed talking period because I need that for myself, right? To understand, for her to understand, and for me to understand to myself that I'm perfectly fine and this ship's gonna rock, this train's gonna board, whether you want to board on it or not. So they never break and they never dissipate from the energy, right? So now when it's over, it hits them in the face like a fucking storm. And they don't know what to do with that storm, right? So what do? They go look at the Instagram following, if she's following anyone new. They go look at her comments. They're constantly watching stories. They're constantly comparing everything to her because they've never left her for a second. Also, they've never even conversated with another woman. They're so locked into this one relationship. And then they just destroy their brains after searching. I just talked to one of my clients today. He just re-hung out with his ex, and he's like, oh no, she didn't follow anyone new. I'm like, how do you know? Because I've been looking at her following every day. Craziness, right? So therefore, I've never looked at your following once, by the way. I just told you to unfollow everybody. I never looked at it before. So I also I've went through your phone like once or twice, right? But I never really asked you to go through your phone. That's like one thing that I don't really do. And I have your code, but I don't even try to remember it because that's like one thing I don't do. I just ask you and I debate on the way that you tell me, and I just expect you to be my girl and act right. And there is things that obviously I have some doubts on, right? And I play with it, not because I think you want to harm me, but when I ask questions, it's really just to make sure you're telling me the honest truth, because if I'm going to keep you around the point we're at now, I need to know that you'll tell me exactly what happened. That's why I ask questions. It's really not because I think you did anything wrong. So when it goes to digging through people's stuff, I really don't do that shit. And this is what men do. They freak and run, and it just becomes this super negative melting pot. You know what I'm saying? How many times can you look through somebody's page and page and page and page, right? So how are you going to get over a woman when you're overindulging in that woman, right? So you're just never leaving that space, right? So that's the worst thing a man can do in any way, shape, or form. The biggest mistake is they never separate in the when they're relating. And then after the relation, they don't they never put that energy into the right things with fitness. And then they just dive it into stalking Instagram followers or watching her stories. Whether you want to block her, unfollow her, erase her from your memory, and replace her from your memory. So I don't want you to chase women right away like we spoke about. And again, I'm going to link my Instagram for you guys to DM me for this ebook. But you need to replace it with positive habits and a new woman. Preferably cold approach until dating apps, but replace.
All right. Can a man win a woman back after losing frame, or is it just done?
You tell me.
I don't know how to answer that, Daddy. You answer.
Think about it.
Well, the man is losing the frame, not the woman, so I can't really quite tell you.
If a man lost his frame with you, can he still win you back?
He could through... I would say he could, depending on, how much has been invested already, into the relationship and the things that, you and the other person went through. If it's actually really worthwhile, making things work again.
What would be like losing frame to you?
Him being disrespectful, not contacting you as often, use certain signs of infidelity where they're not actually clear, treating you differently, not caring as much to care for themselves.
Okay. So for me, Can a man win a woman back after losing his frame, or is it done? It's done. There's no way to win a woman back. So I love her answer. I appreciate it. That's because women don't even know themselves. A frame is the way that you lead the relationship. We went over this yesterday, right? Being in, making all the regulations, the boundaries, following you, being who you want her to be, and making that decision from the outright beginning of the relationship. So when you go back on those things, if you tell her, listen, you do this and it's over, but then she goes and cheats on you, she goes and does something, and then you take her back and you broke that frame, you can never get her back. And if you get her back, it's a lackluster, weaker version of said woman, and you do not want her back. You don't even want your fucking self back. You fucked up so bad if you lost your fucking frame. Also you set your boundaries, who you are. Now you put on 10, 15, 20 pounds. You stop getting hard-ons. You got some ED going on because you've lost yourself. All things that happen, right? No, you cannot get that woman back. If a man stops getting hard-ons, he stops fucking the same, some things start going a little array, you're gonna just take that man back that gains 20 pounds and he's giving you weak sex, whatever, everything's gonna come back?
No, because if it seems like he's just gonna be on that same path onto just continue being that way or even get worse. So I don't see.
But what if you just keep saying, I'm gonna get better, you're gonna give him a little chance?
I mean, it depends on how much time has passed along with those kind of.
But he just puts 20 pounds on, 3-4 months goes by, he's like, baby, I'm gonna fix it. You're gonna take him back?
I don't know. I mean, if he's not giving good sex, that's a really big issue, and that's where you have a lot of connection, even if.
So that's the only reason you're with me?
No, it's not really. It's not. Because you could be I think you could be any kind of size, shape, or form, and you're still gonna perform the same way.
I do a good job.
I think it's just depending on the person.
I do a good job.
You do a very good job. Not to get into that one too much, but I feel like if that one thing led for him to start lacking in those departments, I don't think we're gonna stay connected for too much longer.
Okay, so you kind of switched up. You said it would be possible.
I mean, it could, but it just depends. Like you just said, it was something quick and brief, but it's just depending on how long that's been, going on.
So you would give him a little chance?
I think give him a possible chance, but there's, a time frame, with these things. I would give him a chance to spend time with him again and go out, I guess, like on dates, but I wouldn't necessarily make it like completely official again. I would kind of try to see where it would go from there. See if I could, rebuild the chemistry with him once again.
And you would date other people?
I wouldn't necessarily date other people, but I would just not make it completely official, like where, like I'm completely tied down. It's just if I make it completely tied down, it just would give him an opportunity to just be completely comfortable at that point and not really work on himself. So we both have to be kept on our toes by some regards. If I give you the good, energy, and I'm looking good, and I'm taking care of myself, and I do an excellent other amount of things for you, or just in general, that I'm just a very positive and, energetic person, and I'm, always getting things done, and I would hope the same in return from somebody else.
So you think you handle business, you do your part in all manners?
I definitely do.
To my point exactly, right? As soon as you talk about 15, 20 pounds, yeah, maybe give him another chance, and I know her better than she knows her. So I think she would. Like you said, you weren't having sex with your ex, right?
No.
Right.
A long period of time.
And you still gave it another chance, right?
I did. After all the things we had gone through.
Right. So I think she would. My point is, even if you clean up, you don't want her back, because a girl will never forget the way that you looked, the way that you fornicated during this time frame. If you ever didn't get hard in front of a woman, just get rid of her, bro, because she will never look at you the same when you come around with a Tootsie Roll with no pop. You understand? There's no coming back from that. Guys would say this is extreme, yet I'm telling you, if you lose the frame, the agreements, the boundaries you set in the beginning, and you lose the format and physique, when you have the format, the physique, the discipline, the money, the business, the employees, all those things up front, you can get away with much more. You can make small mistakes in your frame because she's always just gonna, rely on and entice herself with the way that you look, the way that you do everything, right? It's gonna, you can tell her, go fuck yourself 2 hours later and then fuck her and she'll, yeah, that would be losing your frame and I wouldn't want you to do that, but things can be forgiven. But when you lose the frame as far as the physique and things of that nature, you're in a big, big trouble with coming back from that. And then as far as just following the rules and the regulations of the relationship, when you lose those things, you're also gonna have a very, very hard time getting back, yet it will not be as bad or as hard as losing your physique and the way you started the relationship. As a relationship conforms, you and her both should get better. You shouldn't buy her shit from the start, and you should look the way you look, but you should get in better shape for her, make more money for her, and buy her things that you wouldn't buy her before, right? Upon meeting her, I would never even talk or think about, getting her breast done, right? And at this point, we're having that conversation. Now, am I going to pay for it fully? No, but I would, help her, right? Or at least lend the money or loan it, right? Because she's earned these things, right? So it's a much bigger aspect where you guys will just spend thousands of dollars in steakhouses from when it starts. With me, I ain't doing none of that shit. I'll buy you a cocktail here and there, but you're making up for it by coming to me, whatever it is. We're 50-50 until we get to that time, baby. So you guys are just too much from the upfront, and then you come back with it later. So to answer your question, hell the fuck no, you can't get nothing back.
Why do you tell guys not to chase closure?
What do you think that means?
Because they're trying to get an answer as to why things finished or why things ended, so they could go on with themselves, go on with their lives. If they're chasing closure, is for the simple fact that they like to really actually know why their relationship ended, what brought it to an end, what was the cause, so they can continue going on with their lives.
So why do you think I tell men not to do it?
I believe that, once it's done, it's already done. And it should be pretty simple as to why things ended.
It should
be completely clear entirely, but you should have seen the signs, whether, the man is at fault, the woman is at fault, someone is at fault, obviously. And so you shouldn't have
the man's always at fault, because even when a woman's at fault, it's the man's fault for not leading directly and properly. So with that being said, the reason why I tell men not to chase closure is because, one, the female never even knows why it ended. Two, even when you get that answer, it's never the truth, because she doesn't even know the truth, and she's not going to tell you the truth. She's not going to tell you, you're a limp dick hog. She's not going to tell you, you're half a man, you're a coward. She's going to say, you know what, it's not me, it's you. It started so strong, but right now, the energies have just changed. We're just not really into the same things and hobbies, and she's going to break down these intricate details of bullshit. Right? So you don't need that fucking answer. It should be clear to you. And the only thing you should need closure on is how much money you're going to fucking close in 2025. Your business, your fitness, your relationship, your business. I said that twice because it's that important. Your relationship that you're about to have with a new woman on a new endeavor, representing for the future family that you're going to create with the fucking seed that's inside you for this family and the fucking man Lord above. So you're going to take over this world. You're not going to worry about a girl's answer. We're not worrying about anything like that. Leave it where it was. She left you and it's over. We never go back to find out why. She don't know, and she's never going to show. It's like a hidden deck of cards. She's never going to tell you why she left you. So there you go. There's your answer. There's no point in finding closure. We're here for new exposure. Posting, social media, internet, craving that fucking business, ready to take over for our future fucking family, baby. The Muscle Architect, Coach Paulie, Stack Jack, while I teach you how to Mac. Let's get laid up in the sack. Pay late, keep her May stay blaze. Stack Jack, baby. Getting lean as fuck on a sick diet. I'm not playing out here. Guys, follow my journey. I'm going to take over all avenues. And I love you guys. Just fucking subscribe to the video twice if you knew how. You can make another Google account, sign in from 3-4 more phones, and just subscribe everywhere. I'd appreciate that. I'm completely kidding, but what I am saying is please subscribe at least once. And with that, maybe like the video too, and maybe send it to your fucking mother. kidding. Send it to your friend. And let's share this with any man that this can help, okay? So with that being said, links to me in the description, the newsletter, and which is updated and fire. You're gonna be getting the best emails ever, man. I'll send you 2 free ebooks just for subscribing. Shoot me an email, let me know, and I'll send you 2. And click the link in the description for the Instagram. Go on there, comment the word I watched, comment the words, just tell me I watched to the end, and I'll send you a free t-shirt. Let's fucking get it, baby. The Muscle Architect. Ah!